Coming up on Theater Talk, do you vote your heart?
I vote with my heart.
Good.
And Adam Lacking won. What do you do?
Thank you. I honor the privacy of the ballot box.
Wonderful. From New York City, this is Theater Talk, and it is our annual Tony Predictions show. I'm Susan Haskins, and here with me is my co-host, Adam Feldman, dance and theater editor of Time Out New York and president of the New York Drama Critics Circle.
Correct.
And we are joined by our Tony predictors, Pacheco of the LA Times, noted author of this fantastic book, The American Theater Wing, and also an Emmy winner for New York One OnStage Best Magazine Show this year. Congratulations, Patrick. It seems to be your year. Elisabeth Vincentelli, contributing writer to The New Yorker and The New York Times, and co-host of Three on the Aisle, our spinoff.
Seems to be your year, too.
Michael Musto of NewNowNext.com. Michael, do you have anything you want to tell our viewers?
I missed some of these shows this season because of an ailment,
All right.
but I still got 82% right in my nomination predictions, proving you don't have to see the shows to guess the Tonys,
Sometimes it's an advantage. I think.
That's true.
or to even vote on the Tonys.
And Jesse Green,
I also have
yes.
something I want to say.
all right, and who is the co-chief theater critic of the New York Times. What would you like to say?
I didn't miss a lot of the shows this season, and I wish I had had.
Now, we're going to jump right in, everybody, with your predictions for Best Play. The Children, Farinelli and the King, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child Parts 1 and 2, Junk, and Latin History for Morons.
This
What
is
is
That's
tough.
really a tough one.
Look, Susan, Harry Potter came from London. It won awards. It's really long. It feels like an event. It doesn't even matter if it's good. It's going to win.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's a terrific show. I think it's a terrific experience at the theater. The question is, as a play, is it as good as, let's say, in this case, The Children or Junk?
Well, The Children is clearly a great play, and Harry Potter is an experience, as you said.
Yeah, and the thing about the Tonys, as you know, is that there isn't a distinction between the production and the play,
Yes.
the way that there is for musical categories.
Or
And,
revivals.
yeah, so what I expect to see this year is Harry Potter winning in the same way that War Horse won
Yes.
in its year, over, in that year, a very strong selection of original plays that were, in my opinion, clearly superior as plays, but War Horse was unstoppable.
I would say it's just a horrible year for American plays. Is
On
such
Broadway.
a pathetic on
On
Broadway.
I think Ayad Akhtar's Junk is pretty good. He's an American playwright.
Are you threatening me?
On the contrary, Tom, ever
Oh,
since you had
it's
that great
deadly.
I disagree.
But really,
I totally
ever
disagree.
since Nicholas Nickleby, something that prestigious, such an event, is going to win. It just, The Children, you really think has a chance? No, it doesn't.
No, I don't
No,
think
it
it has a
doesn't.
chance. I think it's a very fine play. And,
It's a better play.
But to speak to Elizabeth's point, I think that a lot of plays kind of scurried away from this season because they knew Harry Potter was coming in.
You, Elizabeth, and you, Adam, are Tony voters, correct? Will you throw your vote away on The Children, or you jump in on the Harry Potter?
That's a leading question.
voting for
That's
David.
an interesting question.
Yeah.
Do you vote your heart?
I vote with my heart.
Good.
I really don't. Yeah.
And you?
And Adam Lacking won. What do you do?
Thank you. I honor the privacy of the ballot box.
Wonderful.
He's voting for War Paint.
Now, on to Best Musical. The Band's Visit,
Drum, spelling out the rhythm of love.
Frozen, Mean Girls,
She has everything. She gets everything.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
This is another really hard one.
Yeah, really hard one.
We knew a year ago it was going to be
Yes.
The Band's Visit. And let's look at the trajectory of recent years. There was Fun Home and Hamilton and Dear Evan Hansen, plays that received great acclaim and awards off Broadway, moved to Broadway. And it's a given that after they move, they're going to win the Tony. No different this year.
It's also a level of excellence. I mean, Band's Visit is so original and so bold and so daring and so quote unquote non-commercial in many ways, that you really want it to be acknowledged by the Tony Award in order to spike sales.
And you think,
If
well,
nothing
it's not
else.
based on a movie. Well, it is
So
based on a
wait.
movie, but it's not an obvious movie.
So we're saying that Harry Potter is going to win because it's bold and it's commercial, and Mean Girls is not going to win because it's bold and commercial? Like, I don't
You
understand.
see a
the-
discrepancy there?
I'm not
Well, I don't think
understanding the reasoning there.
Well,
But I don't think
If
Mean
bold,
Girls-
if bold and non-commercial
But Harry Potter's a
means that you're going to
prestige
win
event, unlike Mean Girls.
No.
Mean Girls is just a fun show.
I don't think Mean Girls
But
is bold
Elizabeth,
at all.
as you all in the Drama Critics Circle awarded the effects and the staging and the magical look of Harry Potter, which it had, and I wouldn't say that, for example, Mean Girls had new innovative staging.
But the advantage of the citation, the Drama Critics Circle, is
Yeah.
that you can differentiate between the play
Right,
and
right,
the production
right,
values,
right.
and it's a very careful wording there. That said, I agree that the band's visit will win and should win.
And it's not just excellence. I mean, it is excellence, but it's also, there's a snob factor, there's a prestige factor involved. I think that
Yes.
for better for worse, SpongeBob and Mean Girls, even among people who really like them, and I like both of those shows, they do seem like shows that are aimed at some level of children. And that's true of Frozen as well. And Band's Visit is very much an adult show.
And Band's Visit, there are no show-stopping numbers, there's no production numbers. It's a human, charming, eccentric thing about a band that gets stranded in an Israeli town that's supposed to be dull. Turns out it isn't dull. There's lots of interesting human interaction.
Now that's a party.
Mean Girls is a Broadway animal from beginning to end.
But it's interesting that now, and I think this is what you're saying, that show, Mean Girls, that checks those boxes, is not the one that is the instant win.
Exactly.
It's the other one, the one that would, 20 years ago would probably never have come to Broadway in the first place.
But for the past few years, when the Tony voters have been given the opportunity to vote for something that's an innovative work of art, they do go with that. But now here you have in the plays, where you're right, it's not an innovative play, but all the other plays are gone. We're early in the season or are gone. Whereas they're here with this juggernaut that's just sitting there, and so.
Well, I think a big
Yeah.
difference this year is that I think the favorite right now would be the Band's Visit. But if you remember, the prestige musical is not always a show-in. I would always think of the year of Caroline or Change versus, I think it was Avenue Q and Wicked, which is a very similar situation as to this one. Another prestige transfer, except Caroline or Change did not win.
I'm going to jump to Book of a Musical. So here we have the Band's Visit.
You can stay here with us tonight if you want to.
No. You have done too much already.
Idamar Moses, Frozen Jennifer Lee, Mean Girls Tina Fey, and SpongeBob, was it Kyle Jarrow? Is Tina Fey's star power TV personality thing going to carry her into beating Idamar Moses?
I hope not.
I think so.
I hope not.
I think so.
I really think Idamar Moses did a much better job.
But
of
that's a
writing
different
book for
question.
a
That's a
musical.
different question.
I heard they might actually put this category on the telecast, which they usually don't. And one of the motivations might be
Is
they
Tina
think
Fey.
Tina Fey could win and she's ratings. I don't know. I think
there
Band's
will be
Visit had the best book.
I think there will be a split of the votes in there. That musical will go to Band's Visit and book will go to Mean Girls.
I'm going to make a prediction that Idamar Moses is going to win for Band's Visit.
I
do you
think it's
think?
going to be very tight. This is one of the hardest ones to
Yes,
predict.
yes.
And I think that what might be working in Tina Fey's favor, in addition to her celebrity, in addition to the very good work that she does in the show,
Yes.
is that people do have an impulse to spread the wealth a little bit. Mean Girls did get 12 nominations. It's hard to think of that many other categories in which it has a very strong chance of winning. And in the same way that, Come From Away won Best Director last year for Ashley, this might get that kind of award. Here's an award we can give to Mean Girls.
And Tina Fey sent pink pencils to everyone in the press. Right. Here's another hard category. Best Revival of a Musical. My Fair Lady. Once on This Island.
What you are, we made you.
Rodgers and Hammerstein's Carousel.
Wait, were the others not written by anyone?
Anonymous. They were
No,
left on four sides.
their estates are not in there.
Oh, I see.
Fighting.
I would definitely go
They're
with
trying to do-
Edward Albee's My Fair Lady. It was just so memorable. Oh, I mean, Rodgers and Hammerstein. I just think that's going to win.
Carousel?
My Fair Lady.
Oh, My Fair Lady.
It's a beautiful, sumptuous production. The acting was revelatory, and it just made the show fresh for me.
I think the most emotional show always wins, and I think the most emotional show was Carousel, in terms of drawing an emotional reaction.
No love
from
for the
an
goat
audience.
once on this island.
Well, I think that may be, as Adam was saying about the other category, something where they look for something they can give that marvelous revival. But it may not be best revival of a musical. Maybe it'll be in scene design. Or
Wait, which one? Which one is the
Oh, I'm sorry.
marvelous
Once on
revival?
this island.
Well, do you think My Fair Lady will win or Carousel?
I think My Fair Lady will win. There's a lot of discussion about, some of it prompted by me, about whether Carousel really even bothered to pay attention to the moment that it was being revived in. I feel it did not do that in a way that My Fair Lady did.
You mean the
all
Me Too
three of
movement?
them.
Yes, and
Yeah.
well, just what is the purpose of doing a revival of a great show like that if you're not going to see it now in relationship to new things that we've learned in our society? I just find
How did they avoid addressing that in the show?
well, they cut the line that was causing so much trouble.
Cut some of the lines.
Well,
About
Just,
abuse.
I feel like they generally kind of bulldoze over the plot elements with all this gorgeous aesthetic presentation. So there are these magnificent transporting dances, and I think it's going to win for best choreography.
yes, I agree.
And there's these, and the vocals are real, opera vocals with Renee Fleming doing a guest appearance, and they really everything looks grand, But I think that you do lose a little bit of the texture of the plot in it, as opposed to My Fair Lady. All of these revivals are really strong this year.
Yes,
I would
yes,
happily
yes,
see any
yes.
of them again.
It's a hard category for that.
And they were the only ones as well. There were only 3 revivals, and so there were only 3 nominees.
Also, the voters are not the nominators, but to the extent that the nominators reflect the voters, it might be worth pointing out that the director of Carousel was not nominated for Best Director, and the other 2 were. And to some extent, that may reflect some general feeling about the value of the work that they did.
All right, so let's go to best revival of a play. Angels in America, Edward Albee's Three Tall Women, Eugene O'Neill's, I guess he's got an estate now in there, Eugene O'Neill's The Iceman Cometh, Lobby Hero, and Travesties.
This was a good category,
Yeah,
finally.
Brilliant, brilliant.
And oh, did I love Travesties. I might as well say that. It's not going to win, but that's a great
So by
show.
Michael's standard, which is the longest and which is the most
I was just going to say Angels is long. It's from London. It won awards. It's a prestigious event. It's got it in the bag.
I mean,
and it
Travesties
is tremendous
an English
competition.
play, but
It's
not
not
with the
long
original.
enough.
It's not long enough.
But now The Iceman Cometh, one of the greatest American
Long.
plays.
They trim it.
Not English.
They
But
trim it.
And then possibly rivaling Angels in America as the greatest American play ever written. It really does.
Iceman Cometh?
Yes.
Angels in
know.
America
It's
is actually
arguable.
2 plays. Let's not forget they actually put 2 plays that ran separately on Broadway originally.
And won
in
2
different
separate
seasons.
Tony
and
Awards.
they
won,
put them
yeah.
all together.
Well, they
so
ran
it's
in
hard.
rep on
It's kind of an
And they
unstoppable
put them all together
juggernaut.
and made you pay for both of them. Yes, they did.
They made you pay?
Well,
No, I mean, no.
Oh,
made,
someone.
so are we all agreeing that Angels in America is likely to win?
Yes.
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 And
All
are
right.
do any of us, I dissent from whether it should win or not. But
Well,
No.
I think that in some ways, for me, the most perfect revival is Three Tall Women.
I agree.
Well, I just want to say, Glenda Jackson was here last week. She's on Theater Talk.
And you're still alive?
She was so fabulous.
I don't actually agree with you that we want audiences to like us. We want them to listen, and we want them to laugh in the right places and be quiet in the right places. We don't necessarily want us to like them.
One of the honors of my life to sit and talk to this woman.
Well, she had just had a confrontational interview in the LA Times.
Yes.
That's what she-
Charles
well,
McNulty's classic interview.
Which was a great article.
But
A great
she
article.
was a darling. I adored her.
She's got the award in the bag. I mean, this is a weak field if you look at some of the other nominees. They put in Amy Schumer, who wasn't really universally raved about. They just didn't want to put Uma Thurman.
This was such a weak year for that, and this is when we get to some of these categories that are really.
Well, let me name the other actresses.
Susan's crying because she's friends with Amy Schumer now.
No, yes. Oh,
So best
So
actress,
close.
BFFs, I'll tell you.
best actress in a play.
Glenda Jackson in Edward Albee's Three Tall Women, Condola Rashad in George Bernard Shaw's St. Joan, Lauren Ridloff and Mark Medoff's Children of a Lesser God, and Amy Schumer in
Steve Martin's
Martin.
Meteor Shower.
Media show.
Well, so you
Obviously,
notice
Amy
there are
Schumer.
only 4 nominees, and
Yeah.
that's because of the way that the rules are structured. When there are fewer than 9 eligible candidates, they reduce the.
They really
field
didn't want to put
4
Uma
nominees.
Thurman.
They
Nice.
wouldn't give it to poor old Elizabeth McGovern.
No, not or to Uma Thurman or Lily Taylor or Janine Garofalo.
Right, right,
But that only adds up to 8. And what really should have happened, the reason that this is happening is that for reasons that I could argue about all day, the 2 women in The Children were both considered featured actresses, even though you know,
That-
one of
that
them
is a
on stage for
crazy
nearly the
decision.
entire play.
That is such a
I mean, there's
crazy
only 3
decision.
people in the whole play.
Right.
But wouldn't that have been the doing of
Francesca
the
Anna
producers
should
to
have
try to
won.
hedge their
But
bets?
also the committee has the right to overrule it and make its own decisions. And a similar thing happened this year with Lobby Hero, where they just
Yes.
didn't want to make any decisions, so they called them all featured. And,
Yes.
and the result of this is that these 2 actors who could easily have been nominated in this category, these 2 women, who are both wonderful in The Children,
Deborah
are,
Findlay and Francesca
and
Annis.
Francesca Annis. Deborah Findlay is nominated for featured. Francesca Annis is not. Both of them could easily have been nominated for Best
Yeah.
Actress, and
And easily not won.
easily lost to Glenda Jackson like everybody else.
And also, it was interesting to me that, for example, in Harry Potter, I thought the lead was Anthony Boyle. That's his name, Anthony Boyle, who played, what's his character's name?
Scorpius.
But yet they gave it to Jamie Parker because he played Harry Potter, although he really wasn't the lead.
Scorpius gets more
Yes,
stage time.
it is about Scorpius.
And
yeah.
what Laura Benanti was eligible in what category? Because she
Featured.
easily could have been nominated instead of Amy Schumer. She was a much better performance in that.
Yes,
play.
I would.
But she was eligible for feature, Laura Benanti.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes the producers defeat themselves with those.
It's really category fraud.
Yeah.
It's category fraud. But
No,
obviously,
it's a-
Susan, obviously Amy Schumer is not going to win.
I don't
Glenda
know,
Jackson
Amy
is the
Schumer-
surest
we're
thing.
not
Dissing
since-
Amy Schumer. I thought
No, no, no,
she
no.
was pleasant in that.
No, but this is a slam dunk. Glenda Jackson.
But now let us go to the performance by a leading actor in a play. Andrew Garfield, Angels in America, Tom Hollander, Travesties, Jamie Parker, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, parts 1 and 2, Mark Rylance, Farinelli and the King, and Denzel Washington in The Iceman Cometh.
It's
Wow,
not a, it's
what a
not a
great character.
poor showing for American actors there.
Not at all.
Yeah, although Rylance
Except for
and Garfield are kind of halfsies, both of them. They-
Right,
How is
that's true.
Garfield half-C?
Who's
well, I think he was born here and then raised there,
Oh,
Oh, I didn't know that.
or
Right.
vice versa. But he calls himself British American.
So what do you think? What do you think?
I think it's going to be Andrew Garfield.
I
But I think
agree.
I think it's a race between Andrew Garfield and Denzel Washington.
Denzel, wonderful.
It's an
They're both
extraordinary
wonderful,
performance.
yeah.
I just saw it recently.
By
and I was
Denzel
not-
Washington?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Oh.
No, and I
I
think-
thought it was amazing. I was not looking forward to another production of Iceman Cometh.
What do you think?
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
I mean, Prior Walter is one of those great roles. He's flamboyant and he's abandoned. He develops AIDS and he's full of hallucinations. And Stephen Spinella in the original was one of the most
that's
brilliant
wonderful.
performances I've ever seen.
Jesse.
I think Andrew Garfield will win, but I'm not really happy with this category at all. I would have trouble if I were voting.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like the acting in Angels in America. I thought it was overacted. And
In general or
in
just
general, but
including Andrew
particularly by
Garfield?
him. I did like Tom Hollander in Travesties.
Oh, I love how.
Yeah.
So if I were a voter, I suppose that's how I would vote.
Wow.
And you?
Privacy of the ballot.
Oh no, I'm not
no,
asking.
no, no,
I'm
I
asking
think-
you
yeah,
who
I
you
think-
think
I-
will win.
I think that Andrew Garfield will win, but there may be some
agree.
factors involved, again, with the spreading of the wealth. It depends if people in the supporting featured categories that we're
Yeah.
getting to, if people end up voting for Angels cast members there, then they may want to give something to Iceman Cometh.
All right, so I'm going to jump to featured very quickly. Best performance.
I'm going to say I hope Denzel does not get it. If only because if he does, then he will think, that's it, I am ready for King Lear, which he has expressed the will to do, and I really do not think we need another King
We need
Lear.
Glenda.
Glenda.
No, we want Glenda Jackson's Lear.
Yes, exactly.
That's what we
That
want.
I will go
That
see.
we want. Best performance in a musical by a leading actor. Harry Haddon.
Harry
Ham and
Ham and
eggs.
Bacon. No, not Ham.
All right, Hammond.
Harry Hadden Patton.
Peyton Bacon.
Why can't the English teach their children how to speak? This verbal class distinction.
Best performance in a musical by a leading actor. Harry Haddon Payton
Yes.
for My Fair Lady. Joshua Henry for Rogers and Hammerstein's Carousel. Tony Shalhoub for The Band's Visit. And Ethan Slater for SpongeBob SquarePants.
I hope you're happier with this category,
That's a-
Jesse.
That's a tough one.
I'm the only one who's going to say Tony Shalhoub for The Band's Visit. It's his 4th nomination. He gave a subtle, sophisticated, I think, wonderful performance.
I think he won't win because he gave a subtle.
He didn't sing much.
Yes.
No, he didn't sing much. It's not that much of a musical performance, but who cares? Rules are meant to be broken. I
think it's
a lot of people are predicting The Sponge.
I think Ethan Slater probably will win, and the Tony Shalhoub, whom I would vote for, will not for the reason that Adam stated.
I don't know if Ethan's going to win. I think there's a very good chance that Joshua Henry will win. It's a big part. It's a dramatic part in a way that I think there still might be some anti-Sponge bias on the part of voters, and they don't think that the
I
Sponge
feel there's
is
been a bit of a turning of the tide recently
That's what I feel.
in favor of SpongeBob. and that could help Ethan Slater in this. And we were talking earlier about the spreading of the goods thing, plus the
If I were
costumes
spreading
and
the
sets.
wealth, this is one that I would consider, but I would also seriously consider orchestration, sound, costumes, set as
Yes.
SpongeBob.
I think they will
and
get
director.
that.
But can I ask you?
And
I mean,
director.
well, I'm biased because we had Joshua Henry and it was magnificent.
Soon you would leave me, off you would go in the mist of day.
And Ethan Slater, I mean, that was enjoyable, but that to me was not what I think of.
But you're talking about your preference. We're not
all
about
right, sorry.
what.
Well, no, I don't
and
know.
Elizabeth
It is acting. It is acting.
What is?
What Ethan Slater is doing is acting.
Well, he's up on a stage and he has a great deal of energy and he's doing a character voice.
Well, that's
that is absolutely not. Well, that is acting.
What's Glenda Jackson?
That is acting.
Very true. Right, sounds like acting. to
If
me.
she
Okay.
did SpongeBob, if Glenda did SpongeBob,
She can do anything.
At midnight.
And also to go back to the Turtle Shalhoub,
yeah.
which I also very much liked, but I don't think it's a strong musical theater performance per se.
I
but
think
it's
Tony
still a
should give it
performance.
shot.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone except for Higgins probably has a realistic shot this year.
Although he was,
Yeah.
I loved him, but he's not going to win.
Everyone except for
Hadden Payton.
Yes.
Hadn't
Hadden
been.
Payton.
So now on to best performance by a leading actress in a musical. Lauren Ambrose, My Fair Lady. Haley Kilgore, Once on This Island. La Chance, Summer, the Donna Summer musical. Katrina Lenk, The Band's Visit. Taylor Louderman, Mean Girls. And Jessie Mueller, Carousel.
I think it's between Katrina Lenk and Lauren Ambrose.
I think it's Katrina Lenk. I think she's just brilliant in this show. And I think she's given us a series of brilliant performances since Once and including Indecent last season.
She's like the
I think
Angelina,
she's
she's
amazing.
the Angelina Jolie of Broadway, don't you think?
Because of her cheekbones?
Oh, she's so
She
beautiful.
just has that kind of magic to her. But I think it's going to be Lauren Ambrose because she reinvents a classic role. She's on stage a lot.
Yes.
She has
Yeah.
like 10 costume changes. And her acting choices to me really resonated in each scene.
What about you?
Oh, I also think it's between the two of them, but my guess would be that it's going to be Katrina Lenk. I think that the charisma of that performance and just the sheer number of people that I've heard talking about that performance.
What do you think, Jessica?
All right.
I think Katrina Lenk will win.
Finally, best original score written for the theater, Angels in America. The Band's Visit.
Dance, you see the wind that moves the trees.
Frozen.
Finally come to knock down my door. I can't hide this time like I hid before.
Mean Girls. And SpongeBob SquarePants.
By everybody.
by
Everybody.
Our hit parade.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I think it's going to be Band's
Band's
Visit.
Visit.
Yes.
I think it's
Yes.
If it is,
David
then
Yazbek.
they should shut down the Tonys.
The thing
Yeah, I
like
completely agree.
David
No,
Yazbek
no,
has
no.
deserved it probably several times before, and this is his best work ever.
And I love that it's completely different from anything he's done before.
Yeah.
It's a big departure for him. It's just great. What an
And he's
achievement.
Just one last question. What do you think will get the most Tonys?
The most Tonys.
Band's Visit.
I think it's probably going to be one of the revivals. I think it's going to be Angels in America. We'll get the most Tonys.
Do you think Nathan Lane's going to get it?
I
Everybody?
do.
Do you? Do you think Nathan Lane will get it?
I hope not. I did not like his Roy Cohn. I really did not.
I mean, it's a tough category if you want to rattle them
Yes,
off.
best performance by a featured actor, Anthony Boyle, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, Michael Cera, Lobby Hero, Brian Terry Henry, Lobby Hero, Nathan Lane, Angels in America, and David Morse for The Iceman Cometh.
Wow. What a great
David
category.
Morse for me.
You do,
The
really.
saving grace of that production.
Yeah,
couldn't hear him at the
amazing
beginning.
performance.
But you're predicting him to win?
Oh, predicting, I think it's going to be Nathan Lane.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
And
it's just not a good
I agree,
idea.
but I would vote for Brian Tyree Henry.
Yes.
Michael Cera was brilliant.
They were both, and they could have included Chris Evans too, as far as I was
Yes.
concerned. And as I say,
And
given
James
an award to his
McArdle.
mustache.
Yeah.
Nathan Lane
That
should have
was-
like 7 Tonys by now. I think he only has 2.
Well, so I'm going to go out on a limb for Anthony Boyle. There you go.
I'm revising it. Actually, Harry Potter will win the most.
All right.
Yeah, my guess is that Harry Potter will win.
Harry Potter will win the most Tonys.
I say
And-
Rocktopia.
I think actually, I think
Which we don't know if
SpongeBob-
it's eligible.
Write-ins, write-in
No,
ballot.
but I think SpongeBob could get the most Tonys in for a musical because it'll get a lot of
Elisabeth, I think
costume sets.
And they added
No,
categories. There are
it's
extra
gonna,
categories
if
this
you
year.
count of all those categories like that are not televised.
Best crustaceans, best cephalopods.
And best balls jumping through.
Well, Escape from Margaritaville, it was given strong
Sheer
competition with the beach ball in the audience category this year.
Home for the holidays. let's
Although
not
I
forget
would
that
give
one.
the
Best
best
active
confetti,
volcano.
the best confetti to Summer. Did you see those huge
Yes.
silver confetti they had? That was great.
Those
They
performances
spent
were great.
money on
though.
that
I would give
instead of
those
the
3
book.
Is there a
winners.
Broadway show where there wasn't snow this year?
All right. It's almost time for the ceremony.
White Christmas.
I'm going to hold up Patrick Pacheco's book again,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank
you
you.
so much. Patrick
Amazon.
Pacheco, Elisabeth Vincentelli, Michael Musto, Jesse Green, Adam Feldman, a courageous job.
Courageous.
We'll see you right after the Tonys. Thank you, everyone.
Yay.
It's a wrap.
Only me, only you when the sun is gone.
Only me when the moon falls with the world
All around me,
with the world around me. Only you. When the sun and moon and stars are gone, what's left is only you. Will you answer me? Answer me.
Our thanks to the Friends of Theater Talk for their significant contribution to this production. Theater Talk is made possible in part by the Frederick Lowe Foundation, the Corey and Bob Dinelli Charitable Fund, the Noel Coward Foundation, Carrie J. Fries, the Dorothy Strelson Foundation, and the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs.
We welcome your questions or comments for Theater Talk. Thank you